So in this episode, we're headed down to Everglades City, and we're planning on staying at the Rod and Gun Club. I've never heard anything but good stuff about the Rod and Gun Club and all the history involved. I'm real excited to get there and see it for myself. I hear it's absolutely something to see.
Well, we are just about here. I've never been here, Leiza. This is my first trip to the Everglades. It reminds me of home a little bit, in a way.
You know, I am blessed because I get down here on occasion. I have to tell you, the last time I was down here was about a year ago, but stayed at this little place right here. Great little restaurant here, but the quaintness of this particular area and the resilience. I mean, let me tell you, they've been decimated by hurricane after hurricane and just have been able to withstand it. And the people that live here come back after every incident. They're back up, they're vibrant, they're surviving. There's some cool places. I mean, look at what we're coming up to.
Yeah, the Everglades Fishing Company, he's really doing it down here. I was sitting at ICAST last year, 2022 in Orlando at ICAST, and hanging out of the bullbayrod and sipping on some of his beers. Jimmy's doing real things, the family's doing real things over here with it. Everglades Fishing Company.
It is cool, but this place has such history. I mean, you have to look back and think about, you know, the 1800s and the 1900s. This was, you know, established by the Collier family, and just some of the coolest stuff. This used to be such an amazing restaurant here, the captain's table, but we're going to the oldest establishment in all of Everglades City, and that is the Everglades Rod and Gun Club.
Well, let's go get checked in and let's start getting a game plan for tomorrow, because I can't wait to wet a line here in Everglades City.
All right.
Hey!
How are y'all doing?
Good to see you finally.
Hi. See you too. Checking in?
Yes.
Checking
All right,
in.
let's get you going, guys. Can I have the last name, telephone number, and address?
Alan,
There you go. How long are we here for?
2 days.
2 days. We're gonna do some fishing.
We are. We're going to try to showcase your area and let everybody know how cool you guys are.
All right, awesome. Let's get you going. We have you in room 44. There's a key for you.
That'll work. Good deal.
You parked out front here?
We are, yep.
Okay, there's a total of 3 main cottages. You're the one right in the middle. You'll see 44 right on your door.
Sweet.
Okay.
Wonderful.
I've seen some like electric and water and water stuff. Is that okay to park the boat over there in that area?
Absolutely, yes.
Accommodations?
Yes, absolutely.
Perfect.
We're here for lunch and dinner as well. If
Oh,
you guys
wow.
are hungry, we serve right on that veranda.
We will
Wonderful,
see you
thank
for that
you.
in a little bit.
See
All
you
right.
then. Thank
Perfect.
you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. What a cool place standing.
It is neat.
Look at the ceilings.
There's so much handcrafted
I mean,
stuff there.
but look at the fish mounts.
I know.
So those are real skin mounts. Those don't happen anymore today. Today everything is synthetic.
That's right.
These are all real skin mounts, and just,
Look at the handwork and the cypress stuff. Look at the cypress, the pitted cypress stuff.
I just, you don't
These
find
old
places like this.
Look at the old guns.
I was so excited when Danny said he wanted to feature historical opportunities within the show and where we would fish. And the Rod and Gun Club is just that. 1864 is when this facility was created and built, and you know, Baron Collier is the one that bought it and created it into a private club, which then became public. And it's had some of the most amazing people here. Eisenhower, Truman, Nixon. I mean, you know, my favorite, John Wayne, but some of the others, Burt Reynolds, Sally Field, but these were all people who came here for an experience. This location is not for all vacationers because it's not for everyone. And it's not, because it is very simplistic. It's very, again, I use the word organic, but just a cool place.
Look at that gun. I don't know how old that gun is, but I'm gonna say it's gotta be in the 1800s itself.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
But
obviously.
I mean, you just don't see places like this anymore. You pull into an area and it's the new, it's the mod, it has no character, no ambiance, and this place just reeks rod and gun.
It really does.
Rods, gun.
Yeah.
I mean, what more do you want except for fish tomorrow?
It's fascinating. Yes, some fish tomorrow would really help.
You know,
I
but,
agree.
Yeah, this area is notorious for giving you the black and white, which is the skunk. So you just got to be careful.
Yeah. We'll give it the old college try. That's
There
for
you
sure.
go. But what can you say when you're in an area like this and it's so amazing?
Like I said, I've never been here, so being here and getting to see this, super cool in its own. Whatever happens in the fishing world happens, and we all know that. You know, organically, that's just how it is. You go fishing, you know that you're always in an opportunity where you could get your butt handed to you. So.
But look at this. Look at that device that they're using to hold the tarpon.
Well, that'd raise some feathers these days, wouldn't it?
I mean, it's just some of the stuff you see.
Yeah. Finally getting to see the Rod and Gun Club was something for sure. All of the amazing woodwork from back in the day when everybody took so much pride in that stuff was really neat. The biggest thing that stood out to me was the bar. You literally got goosebumps when you walked through the doors thinking about all of the presidents and celebrities back in the days that were there. You could literally feel the hair on your arms raise up.
So Lisa, tomorrow we have a high tide first thing in the morning, but it's not a big high tide.
Okay.
So I think that'll help. We have the problem of the tides getting too high here and pushing all the fish into the trees and roots.
Yep.
So that's something I don't have to deal with at home. That's not normal for me. They rise up against the oyster bars and they fall off the oyster bars. It's much more simple. Down here, not so much. But we just looked at the tides. It's 8:22 high tide, but it's only at 2.3. So probably not going to be enough water to put them in the trees.
I think if we find some deep cuts, we find some areas where we're going to have out front more fall-in tide. If we've got a high 823, we get out there, we let the tide start falling out. You got to have some moving water. I know we're not going to have a lot of moving water, but you're right. If they're not under the trees, they're out on the front. I think if we can capitalize on that, I think we'll have we should have some good fish.
It should, like I said, it should pull them from their highest spot in the morning. It should pull them down into those troughs and those little depressional areas. That should hopefully help us. Anytime you can lower the percentage of where they could be, it's always nicer to have that advantage.
Oh, you're not kidding. And I think one of the things we should talk about also is, I know I love artificials, but I have to tell you, bait, if we're talking about this area, tough bite, you want to improve your success ratio, you need to have some bait. I mean, if we can catch some ladyfish or if we want to pick up some mullet, you know, we've got to do something to improve our success. And most people think that I'm truly just always an artificial angler, but that's not the case. I do whatever it takes to catch a fish. But we really got to pay attention to what's going on and just finding the fish. Once we find them, getting them to eat is critical. And I think you have a saying about that, don't you?
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, if they ain't biting, they ain't gonna eat.
So me and Leiza had sat down and talked a little bit of a prior game plan leading up to fishing down in the Everglades. She has spent some time there. I have never been there. And it had been quite a while since she had been there. But she did have some old history to go off of. The game plan was to shake the bushes a little bit, so to speak, see if we could get us a snook or a redfish, and then maybe even look for a tarpon as a possibility out on the points. We had a really good game plan for sure.
Well, we are here and we are finally on the water. Got all the travel out of the way, got everything situated, had a great dinner last night. Came up with a game plan.
You know, you have a plan, you work your plan, and you just hope that everything, it's fishing, so you just hope that everything works out properly.
But we're hearing that it's tough. You know, all the locals are saying that it's tough. That the inshore world is just off. We're coming off a full moon. We'll see. We're gonna go hard. We're gonna go work hard and we're gonna grind and we'll see what happens.
We got a high tide today. You know, not a lot of tidal movement, not, you know, outgoing tide, and then that incoming tide, not a lot of water coming back in. So we'll just, like you said, we'll make the best of it.
Yeah, we'll get it done. We'll go out here and see what we can come up with.
The last time I was in the Everglades, gosh, about a year ago, I had an amazing adventure with my SO, Lone Morrison, and we caught gigantic snook, we had tarpon, we just had an incredible day. And you know, that is one of the reasons I wanted to come back down here, the history, the location. Danny had never been here before. It all met all of those criteria. But in talking with people, you know, everyone was telling us the bite was going to be tough. And so, you know, it just, those are the things that you learn from. Come down here and let's just see if we can make it happen.
Oh, Lord, there he is.
Now that's a nice fish.
There we go. We need some breaks here.
Nice fish.
Catch up with him. Shake and bake, shake and bake.
I told you to fish in here.
It's a jack. It's a permit.
No.
Hey, I know what I got. I got 3, you got none.
That's all right.
Trash or no trash, dang it.
I am not, I'm good. I am good with none.
I tell you what, that's the biggest jack crevalle's been caught today. He is wiggling and jiggling. I can't even hit the moving target for nothing. There we go. I finally got it on try number 10. That was wild, man. That big snook come in there and hit that bait and shook it off, and as soon as you spit it out, that darn jack crevalle grabbed it. Craziest thing I ever seen.
So we caught fish, don't get me wrong. We pulled on fish, we hooked fish, we caught fish. We just did not catch the fish we were targeting. And that does happen sometimes. After catching a good dozen or maybe even 15, we started chatting and carrying on as a joke really, and said, hey, we might want to keep some of these little ladyfish. You never know where they might come into play later on.
That little fella's a little spunky.
Now, you know, Danny, a lot of people would really enjoy catching sharks.
Oh, I know. I don't know
I
any of
mean, I have clients used to, when I used to charter, that's all they wanted to catch were sharks. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm not up for sharks.
That line gets over that freaking gray deck and you can't see it for nothing.
That's what happens when you get old.
I guarantee you, this gets bad on me. You know, Leiza, the thing about this, that using this cut bait, it definitely opens your door up to all kinds of various possibilities in the species world. I know we are targeting a certain couple, but it does open the door up to kind of camouflage the slow times, if you will, with some things that we may not be looking for. Shark being one of them.
Most people know that you know, I'm passionate about fishing artificials, and that was a plan when we came down here. However, we want to catch fish, and I'm known to have the opportunity to use live bait, and so if that presents itself, I'm an opportunistic fisherman. If that's what it takes, that's what we will do. You know, if you want to catch fish, you've got to be willing to be able to be flexible and do what it takes.
There he goes. Got him. You under or over?
I don't, under.
Over. All right, I'm coming out of anchor mode. Woo, oh, there he is. What was it, a snook? Or
No.
Was it a tarpon?
I think it was a tarpon. Do you see him come out of the water?
Wow, yeah, he's big. He's mad. He's big and mad. Damn it, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. That about gave me a heart attack. He's giving up. He's throwing a little, I'm breaking him a little bit. He keeps letting me win on a pull. I tell you, Leiza, we have spent tons and tons of energy throwing artificial and trying to stick to the game plan of artificial. But as we kept catching these ladyfish with the artificial, it kind of sparked a new wave, if you will, a new thought process. Hey, if you can't beat them, join them.
Oh,
Big
Big
shark. Big
shark.
shark. Finally got a looks of it.
well, so what is cool about this though, Danny, is I don't care who you are, when you hear the drag scream, your heart goes wild.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's a ladyfish, a jack, a shark. Now catfish, on the other hand, I'm not so happy with.
Yeah, you had me there for a minute. I was like, you know what, I'm thinking about the catfish, but you took that out, so that's good.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna take the catfish out. But this is is cool.
Yeah, there ain't nothing wrong with this. What kind of shark do we have here? What the head? We got bull shark. Wasn't that the head of a bull shark?
It looked like a bull shark to me.
Looked like, that explains all that mean anger he was throwing around there for a minute on us. He was not happy.
We really honestly knew that there was big fish in that cut. We knew for a fact there was. It's known for it, and we knew they were there. But honestly, that's how fishing is, and sometimes you only get one chance. And we got one chance. And then once we lost that chance, the mixture of the ladyfish being in the water and all the scent spreading, it fired the bull sharks up pretty bad, and that ruined the rest of the chances on a big snook.
You told me last night at dinner there was one species that you've never caught before, and that is a peacock bass.
I did bring that up last night. I remember talking about those big trips they do overseas for those monsters throwing topwater plugs. You know where some of them are at locally?
I do. Not very far from here, and we won't be using topwater plugs, but if you want to go catch a peacock bass, we can go catch a peacock bass and wrap it up and have a great day and see if we can't find some peacock bass.
Man, I am so game for that idea that you can't even imagine.
All
I'm
right.
good. I'm
All
good
right.
with that.
Well, let's see if we can go get us a little peacock
Let's do it.
bass.
Let's do that.
I remember at dinner and then again on the boat when we were talking about this area down here that Danny had never really targeted tropicals, Mayan cichlids, Oscars, peacocks. So, you know, why not, since we're here, take a stab at it. Head down to the canals, we'll head 40 minutes south and see what happens. See if we can get him on some of those fish.
Oh, watch out now. Watch out now. Coming through.
Come on, come on.
Oh, bust and drag. We break and drag.
Good job. Let's see what you got.
Watch out now.
Oh, you got a cichlid.
He's a whopper.
Mayan cichlid. How about that?
He's a whopper.
He's beautiful though. Look at the colors on him.
Mm-hmm. That is cool.
Isn't that cool? So Danny, I think you found a new sport. First cast, first cichlid. I'm pretty psyched.
You know, Leiza, I don't tell a lot of people about it, but I'm a good bass fisherman. I just don't share it with the world because I don't want all my bass buddies to know about it, because then they'll want me to come fish with them, and I don't have any time left to fish with them.
You know, Danny, we've known each other a long time, and I've been with CCA a long time, and you've helped me throughout the years find redfish, but CCA has just started a new program called Adopt a Redfish. Regular people, the general public, can adopt a redfish,
and help us put these big breeder redfish and do a restocking program. That's one of the newest initiatives that CCA has in order to help us replenish redfish. And the other thing that we do to create awareness for our organization is the CCA Florida Star competition. You know about that, again, because you've helped me with redfish, but it runs from Memorial Day to Labor Day, 100 days of fishing, $500,000 in prizes, inshore and offshore divisions. It's a great way to engage people in the sport, get them involved in fishing, getting them involved in CCA. If people are going to fish over the summer, they really want to be involved with the CCA Florida organization.
If you guys want to find out how to help, check out ccaflorida.org for more info. Whopper.
Look at you.
I mean, whopper.
That's a big one. It's fun, isn't it?
Hey, you got to give these little dudes credit, man. They're trying really hard.
They're amazing. They're so much fun to catch.
They're trying really hard here. So, you know, Leiza, when we started talking about coming over here and trying this out, you were talking about these little fellas. And this normally wouldn't do anything for me. I gotta be honest with you.
I get it.
Okay, but we downsized the tackle. We did everything we needed to do in the downsize program to get the bite, and it's made it kind of fun.
It's fun.
Don't tell nobody I said that. But look at him, he's cool, and they're scrappers.
Yeah, he's a scrappy dude.
So looking back on the trip to the Everglades City and spending time inshore after all that wind and seeing the color and the coloration of the water was really diluted. And I think a lot of stuff had moved and been pushed around in that wind. Anytime you move and resituate bait, the fish aren't far behind. So going back, if we had another day to film and research, I believe my next move would have been moving offshore 5, 6, 7 miles to some artificial reefs. Because of the May month being such a migratory month, I think we probably could have pieced together a little bit better of a day, a little bit deeper. We will definitely be back to the Rod and Gun Club, and we will definitely be back to Everglades City to see if we can't figure out what is going on with them fish down there in 2024.